welcome back. We know this can be a really hard time, even a scary time, and it's okay to be scared.
But when you're stuck inside, it might be hard to understand why coronavirus is so dangerous, especially if everyone in your family and your house is healthy.
There are some families, though, where people are getting very sick, and sometimes the people who got sick are no longer with us, and so their families are sad and they're having a really tough time.
I even lost a friend. It's hard to believe, but it does make me sad.
Yeah, you know what? I know what it's like to lose a friend. Yeah, when I lost my friend, Mr. Hooper, I felt sad and confused, and I wanted to give him a picture I drew of him, but I couldn't because he died. But my adult friend, Maria, explained that Mr. Hooper wasn't going to come back. And I didn't know what to do, but luckily I had my friends and my family there to help me. And I still have my picture of Mr. Hooper right here in my nest. And that way I can think about him. It's important to remember that we're all in this together, to help and to care for each other and to lift each other up, you know?
You're right, Big Bird. It's so important to take care of each other and to remember people who are no longer with us. My dad's no longer here, but I talk about him a lot, and I have pictures of him too, and that helps me feel like he's still with me in my heart.
Yeah, it's so important to remember that. And let's bring back Dr. Rose Marie from Sesame Street Workshop, the nonprofit organization behind Sesame Street, and Dr. Wanjiko Juragi as well from the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. Dr. Juragi, parents may have the urge to want to protect their children, understandably, from some of these sad thoughts that we're talking about now and trying to help them deal with loss. What do you think is the right approach?
Yeah, so Dr. Gupta, and I'm sorry for your loss and for Big Bird's loss as well, if it was a little while ago. I think the important thing as a child psychiatrist that we try to tell parents is that you need to be honest. You need to support your children. Many children are grieving the loss of their regular day activities and then the loss of someone that they love. So letting them know in very clear and plain language about that loss and then letting them express their emotions, the big emotions that you guys have been talking about all morning long, and letting them know that they can always look at pictures of their loved one or tell stories about their loved one. And those kinds of things often help children and families.
Absolutely. Dr. Rose Marie, it can be really confusing, as we know, for kids to be confronted with all of these grown-up ideas and these feelings all at one time. So what do you say to the kids like Big Bird who are trying to work through them all right now?
Yeah, these could be overwhelming, and I think it's really important for us to remember to validate these feelings, because these feelings are real, and it is okay for parents to express their feelings, because once again, that helps validate the children's feelings. But keep in mind that children do need these strategies, and we're talking about what Big Bird did to help remember Mr. Hooper, and it's not like a light switch. You know, keep in mind that when children are dealing with feelings such as grief, it's sort of like when they eat an apple. So when a child eats an apple, they take a bite, they put it down, they come back to it, they take another bite. So they deal with these emotions in bite sizes, unlike we as adults who eat the apple all together. We're all consumed. So I just want children to understand that these big feelings and a range of feelings will come and go. But what's most important is how to help children and the grown-ups cope with these emotions, with these toolbox of strategies that we've been talking about throughout this program.
Yeah, definitely good reminders for the grown-ups as well. We want to share a moment now that was actually captured by one of our producers, Tawanda Scott. She heard her daughter, Tangen, speaking with one of her friends, Ramona. They were talking about coronavirus, and as she overheard the conversation, she decided to film it. Tangen agreed to let her mom share it with everyone today, so here it is.
I was like, if you get it, it won't be very bad. Like, even if kids get it, and it more affects older people. But now it's like, it's not looking that way. Because, like, not even old people are dying. Like, definitely other people. I mean, yeah, other...
They said it's hitting, like, African Americans especially hard.
Is it?
Yeah.
Why hard?
This pandemic has been especially difficult, as we know, for communities of color. Dr. Juragi, as we're answering that question, there isn't just one answer because communities of color have been impacted in a number of ways. Can you help kids understand why?
Yes, Erica, that is a tough question. I mean, I think it's a hard discussion to have with your child to talk about structural racism. But I think what we can say to children is to be honest and say, as we now know from all of the information gathered, that families of color, people of color, are dying in greater numbers across the United States and then in some parts of the world as well. But it's again reassuring the child that even though this is a scary time and there are some scary things going on, that by following all of the recommendations that we've been talking about this morning, that is our best hope to protect ourselves and protect our families. But I think the key thing that the child psychiatry field and others want to recommend is that parents be honest with their children, but also you guys know your kids. Right. You want to make sure that they get the message that you want to tell them that's clear, succinct.
And I have to say, I heard some sirens behind somebody's thing, and it's a reminder again that there are people out there, while we're being asked to stay at home, who are doing these important jobs. And Dr. Juragi, I think as we know, many of the people who are on the front line, delivering food, making sure we have the things that we need, perhaps driving the ambulance that we just heard in the background, oftentimes are more likely to be people of color in this country. So oftentimes they are doing the jobs that put themselves more at risk, and as a result, more likely to get infected as well. Do you think that's part of the reason also?
Yeah, Dr. Gupta. So that was my house, and that we're sirens in Philly. So everyday life.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think that we now know, the more that we're digging into this data and beginning to understand how community of colors have impacted, I mean, there are a lot of reasons that speak to the disparities that we're seeing. And again, I think that this is really a valid fear for many families of color. I myself have become increasingly concerned about my family and my friends' families and colleagues. But I think, again, what I try to reassure myself with is what you all were talking about this morning, and that there are people all around the world that are working 24/7. I mean, I've got colleagues at CHOP and at Penn, to name two institutions, that are doing all kinds of really brilliant work to try to find a way to help us get through this time and looking towards the future. So as we begin to understand this data, there are all kinds of webinars, both by the Child Psychiatry Academy, the American Psychiatry Association, that are beginning to talk about disparities. And in my academy, in our caucuses, the Black Caucus, the Latino Caucus, the IMG Caucus, and the Asian American Caucus, we really are thinking about what this means for people of color and for children and families of color. And we really hope to add to this conversation over the next coming weeks and months.
I'm glad we're talking about it. I think it's so important for kids and adults to hear this. Dr. Rosemarie and Dr. Juragi, thanks so much for helping us today.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
I know that's a hard conversation, but I'm glad we talked about it.
Me too.
A lot of people are going through some difficult times right now, but next, we're going to learn some ways to help our friends and help our communities.
There's more coming up. We'll be right back.